Welcome back to American Beef Ranch. Good morning. Behind me you see a whole bunch of random stuff, and we got to get all this moved today, along with picking up fence, picking up rocks, and getting more prepped to get our seed in the ground. But first things first, we got a heifer that ended up in the neighbors, and we got to go get her picked up. So the best part about this whole deal is our calf is right next door. We have native grazing land surrounding our entire property, and so sometimes you get stuff crossing the fence. If I had a four-wheeler or side-by-side, I'd literally just let her out and run her down the road, but I don't have one right now. Let's go get her picked up. So earlier this year, I think what's happened is I had the cows on the east end of the farm. The east end of the farm is native grazing land for us right now. We may put some of that stuff into production, but it's native grazing land. And because of the kind of fence that's built around that land, it makes it really easy if something wants to go over it, through it, under it, all of those things. So what happened is there was a fire through the north side of the property that we own, and that fire burned all of the old fence. There was a bunch of old wooden fence, burned it all. Every post was burned, all the H braces, everything. So we needed to rebuild it. So this is a yearling heifer. So she will be bred this year to have her first calf. Pretty good looking little heifer. I really like the way she's looking. Pretty calm with me. So we'll get her, you know, she doesn't have any friends, so that's not a good thing. We're gonna get her in the corral. Hopefully, honey, just chill out. Go the other way. Yeah, I know. Go back with your friends. I'm taking you to friends. So we'll get her loaded up. Anyway, that fence burned down, and then come on. And we got paid by BLM to rebuild the fence, but when you get paid by the BLM to rebuild fence, you have to build it to their spec, and their spec at that time for this fence was 4 wires, 3 barbed wires, 1 smooth wire at certain distances. So the top wire is pretty low, the bottom wire is pretty high off the ground, and so these cows, they just walk up to it, especially over the tops of hills and rises and stuff, and they just hop right over it. And it's designed that way for deer to go underneath it, but deer hop right over it too. So one way or another, the fence is going to have to be replaced at some point. It's not a dire need. The fence is in good shape, and I think what we could do is we could probably add another wire on top of the fence, just make it taller, and we could probably add a standoff wire or a hot wire on that fence all the way around the perimeter. And I think we would have a lot better luck with keeping the animals where they're supposed to. But we also have other fence on that end that needs replaced. It's poor fence. We have, you know, we have a neighbor, well, not really a neighbor, we have there's a property owner that has a chunk of ground kind of nestled on the corner of me and the native grazing land, and the fence between my property and their property is junk, and there's some bad corners and stuff like that in there, and it only gets worse. But anyway, basically, that's a long story to say the fence is not built very good. Well, it's built good, it's just that the spec on it's not very good, and we're gonna have to work on that, but we'll see what we get done in the future. Come on, honey. There you go. So she's gonna, come on, load up. Good girl. She's gonna load herself right up, and I'm gonna take her home. So I found, well, I haven't mentioned this yet, but all the cows got out the other day, and I didn't really look because they're just kind of out in our fields eating some of the growth, some of the weeds and some of the other stuff. and I'm not really worried about it because they're staying fed and they're staying close. But I figured out why they got out, and it's because one of the posts, I didn't get in the ground very good because the ground's really hard around here. If you didn't know, I didn't get in the ground very good. Well, it fell over, or got somebody pushed on it just a little bit and it fell over. So here you go, honey. Nice little heifer. She'll be a good one for us. I will have to get her a shot to have her get rid of anything that she may have picked up on the other side of the fence, if you catch my drift. Because we run smaller frame cattle, grass-fed finished cattle. They are not gonna do very good with the big commercial animals across the street. So she has found the other cows out there. You guys should see them, maybe. Black specks over there. And she's gonna go right over there and remingle with the herd. We're gonna go drop this trailer off, get to work, pick up. There's a couple straggler cows over here. I just wanna bring them back over here and push them out here because I do need to put them more up today, which I may just lock them in this field and give them their east side because there is water down there for them, and that's where they need to go to get water. So I may just get everybody in here for today, and then I have to go work on the backhoe. And if you didn't see me work on the backhoe the other day, it's gonna be a real fun job. Just caught these steers about to enter the hayfield, and that's one of the problems I've kind of been facing lately, is the steers, the 2-year-olds and the yearlings being with the herd is fine if you just let them out on a big pasture and let them graze. But like, look, these guys just hop over the hot wire. They don't care. And see, like, they don't want, see, they're trying to respect this hot wire. Like, he doesn't want to go through it, but they still will eventually. Well, and the fence is down over there, so he's gonna go over it, so it's not that big of a deal. But we've got to figure out a better way to graze our butcher animals and our yearlings versus our cow herd. Like, we're gonna have to work on multiple pastures, multiple paddocks. And as far as fencing goes, they respect hot wire. The problem is that most of these posts, from what I'm seeing, most of the posts are not tall enough for where the wire needs to be to keep them discouraged from going over it. They're also, the pigtail posts don't work very good for my cows because they just end up hopping over the single wire or going under the single wire. So we're gonna have to have at least 2 wires and a really hot fence. And that's the other thing, we need some better fencers. Like, I have some portables and some stuff like that, but we're gonna have to have better fences. It's just the way it is. Fencers. So anyway, I'm switching rides. We got work to do. Famous last words. This shouldn't be too awful hard to get back together, but what I need to do is that pin needs to go back in so that I can lift the arm up. And then once this arm's lifted up, this arm will come in and I can strap it together. That way I can use the front bucket, because I need to use the front bucket today. If I don't, I'm really not using my time widely. I really need this piece of equipment today. So we're gonna have some extra shims and stuff. So I just extended it ever so slightly back and forth until I see the end of the hydraulic cylinder move a little bit. Bang, bang! Pins in. Now we just grab our pliers and reinstall the snap ring. Actually, I forgot. Before we do anything, we need to seal up these hydraulic lines so we don't get dirt in them while we're working today. So what I'm doing is literally just sticking a bag over it and bringing it back up and doubling it over the end and just taping it down. And those steers we just chased a little bit ago, they're wondering how to get back with the cows because they have no idea, because they had to go on an adventure. There we go. Ends are protected, and I could probably tape over the ends just to keep the plastic from doing anything. So very important, we're strapped around the twist, not so much, but underneath the hydraulic cylinder like we should be, around and down to here, and just have the extra hanging up there. But now we can actually get to work. We can go do the things we need to do today with the backhoe, and this is not going to flop around and do a bunch of stuff. We just got to remember not touch the back remotes, which isn't that hard to do, but it'd probably happen. I'll probably make a mess, blow out that plastic and duct tape. It'll happen. Probably goes without saying that the other day a lot of hydraulic oil was lost, so I have to add some. And I had to go find my hydraulic oil bucket in the field. I left it on the fuel tank the other day when I was fixing that pivot elbow. If you guys haven't seen that video, go check it out. And yeah, I dropped it in the field, but I found it. I knew right where it was going to be, so. So we do need to move all this stuff, but I don't really have a good place for some of it to go yet. These fuel tanks are going right past the gate. They're going to be fueled up here in the next day or so. These pivot tires can go back there somewhere. But like this wire, this other fuel tank could probably go with those two fuel tanks, but there's some other stuff that's junk. I'm gonna pick all the junk up probably first, haul it off, and then some of this other stuff, I don't really know where it's gonna go. So it's probably just gonna come across the road to right here for now until I find a good spot for it, because within doing this, we're rearranging the garage. So yeah, we got stuff going everywhere. It's kind of a mess. All right, we have got this area all cleaned up for what's gonna go here. And we've got the fuel tanks moved, and we have the junk out of the way. Some of this stuff is still gonna move a lot. The fuel tanks are gonna stay there, and the fuel man's gonna come fill those up. Trailer's gonna move, but we gotta use it tomorrow to go get beef and some more pullets. But now I gotta clean out in front of this garage right here, this garage door and everything, because we gotta clean the garage out. We gotta take a whole bunch of stuff out of the garage. A whole bunch of stuff is going other places. And I really need to move those chickens out of there too. So, trying to figure out the best route. I need to get the chickens out, but we've just had so many problems with pullets surviving this year. Aerial predators, ground predators. So I think what I'm gonna end up doing is bringing the meat bird cage up here. The meat bird chicken tractor, the heavy duty one, and bringing it up here and trying to figure out a way to secure it so that from the air and from the ground, stuff just can't get in it, basically. So that's probably what I'm gonna do next. And then I do need to go pick up fence posts and rocks and all sorts of stuff. So we still got a lot more work to do today. It's now several hours later. We basically took everything in this bay of the garage and just got rid of it. And then we've added some plywood along the walls. And what we're doing is we have chicks coming tomorrow, 200 tomorrow, 200 a week from that day. We're gonna build an 8x24 brooder that's really simple, and that's what it comes down to. Some 2x4, some hardware cloth, this garage, which is from a 70s house, so none of our vehicles fit in it. It's too short, the doors aren't tall enough, and so it's basically a storage shed attached to our house. So it's a good spot for brooder. We have some new storage facility coming for the rest of our stuff, and that's where we'll store our feed and our spare parts and tools and things like that for now. And until later down the road, we can build a shop or a shed or something like that to hold the rest of the stuff. So now we're just gonna get to building this brooder, and hopefully we keep it really simple, really easy, and it goes together kind of quick. Righty then, here we are. Real basic brooder, 2x4 frame, hardware mesh, hardware cloth for the outside. We will be building a lid for this, but later, this garage, we do not have problems with things and stuff getting in. It's mostly keeping the birds in, having good ventilation, and stuff like that. We're not too worried about cats or pests or things getting in here. But this will give us good ventilation, and it's hot right now. It's gonna be really hot, 85, 90 degrees, so I'm not worried about that. This is basically, we're just letting this go because we have this garage used. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. God bless. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time on American Beef Ranch.